This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by the Daily Herald.
Dan, your team's sitting at 16-4 in the UEC so far this year, obviously in the driver's seat with one series to go. Why have you guys been playing so well?
Well, I think the key thing is our senior leadership. The guys that we have that with experience have helped us overcome some adversity and tough situations, being down in games late. The Bartlett series to be one of them, where we were down the first game of the series, 2 runs, and we come back to tie and then eventually take the lead, and doing the same later in the series. So I think with that senior leadership has been a huge plus for us to overcome a lot of those hills where when they were juniors and a lot of them getting at bats, we weren't winning those 1-run games, late. And I think having that experience and having some good players, that helps put us in a position to be successful.
Yeah, you only have 14 guys on the varsity roster this year, and you were quoted at the beginning of the season saying, we've got talent, but we're not very deep. You guys have been relatively healthy this year. I would imagine that's some of it, and maybe some of those guys that maybe you weren't counting on for some contributions from have maybe stepped up a little bit too?
Oh, there's no doubt. Like we're talking about guys like Zach Benema, junior pitcher on the mound, Garrett Howitz at shortstop, junior coming in a tough situation to play shortstop, Ryan Jones at second base, another junior coming in a tough situation, Ryan Strict in right field. I mean, we're asking those type of guys to step up outside of the guys that we were counting on. Every guy pretty much on this team has contributed in some way, and those are some guys that have really been very, very beneficial, mixing with a lot of the guys that got at bats last year. And even in this series, we're going to be asking for some other guys to step up as we're trying to go forth here, and it's all hands on deck. And that's been a great thing about this team. They really stuck together, and pretty loose bunch, but that's been, I think, a key to our success, that they understand their role and what they need to do in order to help us achieve our goals.
And you mentioned one of the Ryans, Ryan Jones, seems to have a hot bat as far as coming up with timely hits lately.
Yes, I mean, he had a big one the other day against Matea in the first game in a situation, and I think that's been a strength too, which is not easy, getting big runs with 2 outs. We've done a pretty good job. I think in the Nequa series, we scored at least almost 8 or 9 runs just with 2 outs and a doubleheader against them. So when you got to be lucky and you got to be good, and that's sort of what we've been this year.
You mentioned that senior leadership. Tyler Hasper seems to be the headliner for you guys this year, a guy that I know has high aspirations for his future when it comes to baseball. What is it that makes him such a two-way dynamo? We've seen him with the stick, we've seen him on the hill.
Well, I think a lot of growing up, coming from Arizona, playing a lot of ball himself and playing it year-round, and really is dedicated to making his game better. I mean, Tyler's a very hard worker, put him in position to have the success that he's had going on to Heartland. Next step for him, junior college down near Illinois State, and great things for him. But I think it's just his commitment to the game and loving the game so much. And really, I mean, he doesn't get rattled, he doesn't get phased, which is the strength of his going forward, which try to tell the younger guys that, notice in the box, when he gets 2 strikes, you wouldn't know if it was 2-0 or 0-2. But that's a credit to him mentally staying with it and working real hard.
In your time here, you've had some fantastic players as far as people that have gone on to bigger and better things. Michael Bowden comes to mind. What kind of potential or future does Tyler have as you kind of, maybe project a little bit here?
Well, I think, he has been able to get the eye of some scouts recently, and Heartland is a very good place that'll be able to develop him and make him better, which might put him in a position to reach some of his goals, maybe to go back out west again. I know it's a huge goal to be maybe out on the West Coast playing for a big school or getting drafted, and I think Heartland's a good place for him to develop that and to get better, and the ingredients are there. A program like that can definitely take him to the next level.
And another one of your pitchers, Jack Eddy, is a guy that we saw limited things from last year, and he's been a terrific number 2 for your team.
I think our success really comes down. I think we wouldn't be successful this year if it wasn't for Jack on the mound. I mean, coming off of last year, yes, he got about 30 innings on the mound and had some spots of, like we said, being a young player, and here and there some good outings, some shortcomings. However, Jack is really the reason why I think we're sitting 20-7 is what he has done on the mound and how he's pitched effectively for us, and we haven't helped him out that much, but he's kept us in games, and he's going, and what he's overcoming in his situation, what he went through in the fall, and just the maturity he's handled, and his demeanor has been awesome. And we wouldn't be sitting 20-7 in 2 ties if it wasn't for Jack Eddy, to be honest with you, of what he's done for us.
And what is it with quarterbacks on the mound? You got another one in Zach Benema who has turned into a number 3 for you.
He really has, and you know what, quarterbacks know how to lead, and quarterbacks are confident, and Jack and Zach totally bring that with them, and that's half the battle of that confidence that you need in order to be successful. And like I said, somebody like Zach who's looking to be the heir apparent after Jack from that standpoint in a good football program, that I can't complain, because that's already instilled in them, and they have that ingredients to work hard. And Zach has had some ups and downs too, just on the mound, but as of late he has pitched really well, beating Naperville Central, then having a tough one with Naperville North, but from then out he really has turned it around.
Another guy that we've seen, at least on the hockey ice and along with around the school, is Ben Vitry. Seems to be a very active kid, and I would imagine senior leader, he's in that core as well.
I don't know if you knew, Benny runs the school. I don't know if you knew that. I mean, he truly runs the school. He's right there with Mr. Stipp, our principal. Yeah. No, I mean, here, you need your good players to be good. Guys like Tyler and obviously guys like Ben being all conference players. In order for us to be successful, to be who we are, like we said today, we needed those guys to be good. And every time there's been a big moment, we need a big hit to come back in those games late or early to give us a head start, like the other day against Matea. Benny's always been the guy in the right place at the right time. And you can ask him to do anything, and he'll do it for the team. Third base, outfield, first base, pitch if need be, if we need it. I can't ask for a more solid leader that keeps these guys loose than Ben Vitry. And I have to say, he's been probably one of the best pure hitters we've had in this program. And that's saying a lot. At one point early in the year, he was hitting 500. That's not an easy task to do in high school, especially in the schedule that we play. But he's going to be dearly missed, along with Tyler and guys like Jack and some of those other, like Nick Drago and Ted Wegner and those seniors that have really done a great job for us.
Now, I know this last weekend, you guys, along with the city of Aurora and Matea, teamed up for Jim Schmid Day.
Yes.
First of all, how were you guys able to keep it a surprise?
That's a miracle in itself with Jim, because Jim's so, one thing, when I coached under him, learned under him, he was so quick to see things on the field, things that developed, and make quick decisions. So I'm still amazed we got him. I swear to God, I don't know how, but we did. And it was a great honor for me to say the impact that Jim Schmid has made in this district. When you look at what Coach Tomczak's done at Matea, giving me a shot here at Waubonsie Valley, and look what Robin Renner coached under Jim also, and look at Robin Renner, what he's done at Nequa. I mean, and Mark Lindo down in Naperville North for years. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I've never had a greater mentor in my life, in my professional life, than Jim Schmid. And it's, I wanted to honor him and show that appreciation that he's done for me, and I'm happy I finally fooled him once. I was pretty happy with that.
Well, it seemed like a pretty good moment for you guys.
It was.
Now, today it's a gorgeous day. It's a baseball day. This is the outlier that we haven't had all spring. For these guys, are they just now getting comfortable and getting into routine as much as you guys have moved from place to place and had to reconfigure the schedule?
I don't think they're ever really comfortable. I think they're feeling, well or good. But I think by the time you hit this stride, yes, they feel pretty comfortable and they can handle anything. Weather-wise, like yesterday was windy and it was not too bad, and today it's hot and steamy. I mean, they adjust. A lot of these guys played a lot of baseball, and they've dealt with situations like this even before we have in the spring, and stuff that they've done in the summer and the fall. But no, they're pretty resilient. That's a credit to high school kids today. They are more resilient than we give them credit for.
Definitely. Now, we're at the point of the season where the games seem to matter the most. You guys are battling for a conference title. Obviously, the postseason with the state tournament starts up next week. Waubonsie earned a number 2 seed this year. I guess what needs to happen for you guys to have some of these goals come true come postseason? Well,
talking about celebrating Jim Schmid back in 1996 with Coach Short, I was just along for the ride. I was a volunteer coach with Jim at that time, and looking to get into the district. And you know, Jim always used to say in that run to take second in state, and this is basically how I'm going to answer it, as I said earlier, you got to be lucky and you got to be good. Things just have to go your way, breaks have to go your way, and your good players got to step up and perform, and then you get contributions from other guys that are your solid players, and to make a run like that as a 2 seed, that's what you need. Baseball is such a strange game, it's pretty fickle, and you don't know what can happen. I think out of any of the high school sports, certain days, the weather, pitcher on the mound, the matchup, everybody's pretty much on an equal playing field, 15 seed to 2 seed or whatever. It just really doesn't matter. Baseball's a tough one.
For sure. Well, Dan, we appreciate you sitting down with us. We know you got some important ones over these next couple weeks. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.